Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the Singularity Mage speed build guide. Now, what I want to do is I want to explain how all the gear and the skills are synergizing together in order to deal damage. I want you guys to understand how the build is actually working, because if you can understand how the build is doing its damage, then you can play it correctly, right? So that's what we're going to do. So, our main source of damage is called Skeletal Mage Singularity, alright? The secondary effect says consumes all essence to summon a powerful minion. The minion's damage is increased by 3% for every point of essence consumed, right? We're going to combine this with Singularity, which is going to double our essence, alright? So if we are sitting at about 300, the max is 330, but we usually sit about 300, then that's 600 essence. That's an 1800% damage multiplier on top of our Skeletal Mages. We mix this with Julian's Love, and now we're going to summon 2 of them, alright? With our Rosmas, it's a 2500% damage multiplier. I don't know why it says 250%. It's 2500%. Trust me on that. All right. We're going to mix this with Chrisman's Sentence and then Scythe of Cycle. Now, Chrisman's Sentence says you deal 100% against enemies that are slowed, but triple against something that's other than slow, right? This is where our Bone Armor Dislocation is going to come in, all right? It stuns them for 2 seconds when we cast Bone Armor, and when our Bone Armor is active, our secondary skills deal 300% bonus damage, and our Skeletal Mages are secondary skill. So now we have 300 times 300 times 1800 times 2500, times 2 because you're casting 2 of them, damage multipliers. It's insane. It gets really, really quite nuts, right? Well, the problem here lies is that if this consumes all of our essence, how do we restore our essence really quickly, all right? This is where Land of the Dead and Devour come into play, all right? When our Land of the Dead is active, we can infinitely cast our Devour, and our Devour restores 10 essence per corpse consumed, but we mix it with Requiem Sarah Plate, and it doubles that amount of essence consumed, alright? So now we're getting 20 for every corpse that we consume, and it refills damn near instantly. The problem now lies with, okay, well, Simulacrum and Land of the Dead only last for 15 and 10 seconds, but they have 120-second cooldowns, so how do we keep these up permanently, right? We're going to use Haunted Visions. Haunted Visions makes Simulacrum last twice as long, but drains 5% of your life, which is nothing because we're going to be, consuming corpses and getting our life back instantly. So it's not a problem, all right? What happens is that makes Simulacrum last for 30 seconds, but that still leaves 90-second downtime, right? We're going to mix this with cooldown reduction. Now, the breakpoint of this build is kind of 55 seconds. I have 60% here just because it's the perfect build, but 55 seconds is about the cooldown. Now, at 55%, cooldown reduction, that's going to turn your Simulacrum and your Land of the Dead into a 54-second cooldown, alright? That means that if Simulacrum is active for 30 seconds and it's on a 54-second cooldown, we need to do something to reduce the cooldown by 24 seconds, and that's where Engeum comes in, right? Well, that means we have to kill 3 elites in 24 seconds. That's really, really hard to do. You can kill 2 completely, like Light Wizards do it all the time. 3 is like, I hope I find the GG map, right? We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that by running Blood is Power. Now, Blood is Power says that after you lose 100% of your life, your ability cooldowns are reduced by 20%. Now, this does not mean that it goes off of the base CDR of your Simulacrum and your Land of the Dead, which would reduce them by 24 seconds. No, that's not what it means. It takes into effect after the cooldown reduction is already applied. So if it's on a 55-second cooldown, then Blood is Power is going to reduce them by 11 seconds. But that is a free Engeum proc. Alright, so now all we have to do is kill 2 elites. But how do we proc Blood is Power? Because we're not using anything that drains life, right? Not correct. With Blood Rush Metabolism, it doubles the health cost to 10%, not 5%. And then your Haunted Visions is draining your life and you're getting hit. You're going to lose 100% of your life in like 3 or 4 seconds when you're spamming your Blood Rush, alright? So now we're able to keep our Simulacrum and our Land of the Dead up permanently. We're able to permanently cast our Bone Armor and stun everything for the Chrisman's proc because it's on a 10-second cooldown, and Engeum reduces skills by 10 seconds, so now it's just an internal cooldown. We can permanently cast our Skeletal Mages because we're able to instantly restore our essence with our Cannibalize and our Dark Reaping. And now we can permanently cast our Blood Rush and get all over the place. So now we can just permanently cast all our abilities and have all of this damage multiplied on top of each other. It's really, really fast. And we're going to mix this with Tasker and Theos. Our pets are now going to attack 50% faster, right? Now, in the previous part 1, I said you don't want to roll attack speed and on your gloves and on your weapon, right? Now, the reason I said that was because it means you want to if you can find the quadfecta gloves and you can find the trifecta scythe, but you don't want to give up cooldown reduction or damage, and you don't want to give up crit chance or crit hit damage for like a trifecta stat, all right? You need the quadfecta and you need the trifecta stat. Now, why am I saying you want to do that when you're able to find the quadfecta and trifecta scythe and the gloves, right? Well, that is because Singularity, the mages have breakpoint, all right? And the breakpoint is at 1.6 seconds because your pet APS is increased because the Tasker and Theas are applied, all right? So we need to get to the next breakpoint, which is going to give us a 25% damage increase, which would be nice, right? So we go to our scythe and we're going to turn our intelligence into an attack speed increase, and then we're going to go to our gloves and we're going to turn it into an attack speed increase. And then we go over to our skills and effects, and now we've hit the next breakpoint, right? And people are like, okay, wait, Otter, why don't we just do that in the first place? All right, why don't I actually replace a crit stat and then stat here to get that breakpoint? Well, the whole point of this build is to drop an elite in one hit, on one cast. It's literally a one-hit cast, all right? 25% damage means it's an overtime thing. Like, it's still going to take 2 hits for them to kill it, right? If you give up crit chance or crit damage, or you give up damage or intelligence, your mages might not do enough damage to kill that elite in one hit, and they're going to attack it twice. And if it's only a 25% damage increase, you need it to be 200% to equal that one-hit combo, right? It needs to be 100% damage increase in order to equal out the damage of the one-hit combo, all right? So you still want to be able to kill them in one hit. If you're able to find the quadfecta and the trifecta scythe, that's what you want to go for. But if you can't, don't roll attack speed into these, roll your damage, and then if you're able to find the quadfecta, that's what you want to go for, okay? So that's essentially what that means. All right, so that's how the build is combining and doing all of its damage and doing what it does. Now we're going to move into the actual combos and understanding how mages can actually work. People don't think you can aim mages, and you can. And then what you want to do when you're actually going through the rift and you find elite packs. All right, guys, so now we're going to move into a super basic mechanic of this build. All right, now a basic mechanic is, or I should say misconception of this build, is that you can't aim your skeleton mages, which you absolutely can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restore my essence real quick. And that's how quickly your essence restores, by the way. Quite insane. All right, now I'm going to go over and I've already set something up over here, all right? So, all right, well, dead. Like I said, squishy build. All right, so we see these blues right here, right? I'm going to aim a blue, and let's see if they attack anything else other than the blue. So I'm going to cast them on the blue. They're aiming the blue, they're aiming the blue, they're only aiming the blue, they're only aiming the blue, and that's it. All right? That is how it works. The skeletal mages, when you cast them onto a target, are going to stay on that target until it dies, all right? So that is really important to know. So when you're going through the rifts and you find an elite pack, you're gonna kind of dash into it. You're gonna stun first, because bone armor cost essence, and I've made this mistake a lot, where you cast your mages before you cast your bone armor, and then you don't do any damage. So it would behoove us to actually cast the bone armor before we cast the mages. But you dash in, you stun them, and you dash out a little bit so you don't get killed by their affixes, and you cast the skeletal mages on the target, like onto the blue or onto the yellow, and they will target that yellow until it's dead, and they will kill it in one shot. They will one-shot that elite group, which is how it works. Skeletal mages can also be used to target doors. A lot of people think that doors are the main enemy of this build because you don't have any basic attacks, so you can't open breakable doors. You can actually aim the door, press your skeletal mages, and the skeletal mages will break the door. So that is another little hint to note when you're actually playing this build. Alright guys, so now we're going to move into the basic rotation of how to kill an elite, alright? So I found an elite here, and I'm going to show you what to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the elite. I see the elite's foot up in the corner, and I'm going to cast my Land of the Dead and my Simulacrum, alright? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dash into the elite group. I'm going to cast my bone armor to stun him. I'm going to aim away from him. I'm going to dash out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim my cursor over the elite and cast my Singularity mages on top of him. Alright, and then what will happen is he will die pretty much in one shot, damn near instantly. There it is, dropped in one go, alright? Then you go back in and you just repeat the process as it is. And that is the combo that you're going to be using throughout the grift, alright? You're going to be finding an elite, dashing into it, casting your bone armor, dashing out of the elite group, and then casting your Singularity Mage onto the actual elite itself, and it will drop in one shot. And as you're going through the rift, make sure to cast your bone armor to kill packs and stuff, and keeping up your Simulacrum and your Land of the Dead. Pretty easy. Alright guys, so that's really it for the guide. I mean, it's a pretty fun, simple build to play. Just you have to understand how it works, or else you're not going to do it. So I hope you enjoyed the guide. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned to watch a sub 2 minute GR60, and as always, take it easy.
To myself